North Korea launched 6 short-range rockets out to the EC without warning on Thursday morning, likely in protest to new sanctions on the regime. Facing tougher sanctions than ever, North Korea may pursue further provocations next week during a joint ROK-U.S. military drill. And as this program marks its 10th anniversary this year, we bring you a special report on Hallyu, or the Korean Wave. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Friday, March 4th. I'm Luke Clary. North Korea launched 6 short-range rockets out to the EC without warning on Thursday morning. This sudden move is believed to be a military protest against the UN-led sanctions resolution on the regime. Here's more.
Just 10 hours after the United Nations Security Council approved of the sanctions resolution against North Korea, the Pyongyang regime launched 6 short-range missiles on Thursday morning.
우리 군이 관련 동향을 계속 추적 감시하면서 만반의 대비 태세를 갖추고 있습니다.
The short-range projectiles were fired toward the EC from the Wonsan area in Gangwon Province and presumably flew between 100 and 150 kilometers. South Korean military authorities assume that North Korea launched short-range missiles like the Scud or new 300mm rockets. A South Korean military official said the projectiles were very likely rockets, given that the North had fired 6 of them in succession. This is North Korea's first launch of short-range rockets this year. Pyongyang did not declare a no-sail zone for waters off Wonsan and fired the rockets without warning. This is regarded as a sort of military protest against the UN's adoption of a North Korea sanctions resolution. Also, the launch may intend to increase military tension on the Korean Peninsula ahead of the joint ROK-U.S. Key Resolve military exercise scheduled for March 7th.
Following the unanimous adoption of the strongest sanctions yet on North Korea by the UN Security Council Thursday, the measures are already beginning to take bite on the Chinese border city of Dandong, a trade hub between China and the north. This is a branch of the China Merchants Bank, one of the 4 major banks in China, located in the financial district of Dandong City. At the nearby Agricultural Bank of China, it was possible until last month for North Korean nationals to open accounts and transfer Chinese currency. Now, it can't be done. The bank says the measures were implemented independently to manage risk amid sanctions imposed on Pyongyang. Dandong Port is located about 30 kilometers from the city's downtown area. North Korean ships cannot currently enter the port. The China Rilin Construction Group, which operates the port, has banned any North Korean vessels from entering. On the first day after the UN Security Council adopted new sanctions, there were noticeably fewer cargo vehicles entering North Korea. In particular, transport volume has decreased significantly for minerals, steel, chemicals, and communication products, which are most likely to be included in Chinese sanctions against the North. A full survey has yet to be conducted, but punitive measures on the regime through customs clearance appear to have already begun. As the UN Security Council passes the toughest sanctions yet against North Korea, the young North Korean leader has been pushed into a corner. The added pressure on the North is giving rise to speculation that Pyongyang may commit further provocations next week when an ROK-U.S. military exercise is scheduled.
In the first response to the toughest UN sanctions targeting the North Korean regime, Kim Jong-un chose to protest militarily by launching 6 short-range projectiles towards the EC. The North Korean leader has been threatening to take military measures since his so-called major statement, and as we've seen, he carried out his threat immediately after the sanctions resolution was passed. More alarmingly, an ROK-U.S. military exercise due to start next week is likely to cause more military tension in the region with stronger North Korean military protests or provocations against South Korea. In some circles, speculations have emerged about North Korea possibly launching additional long-range missiles or conducting a fifth nuclear test ahead of its Workers' Party Congress in May. However, continuing to incite military provocation would be quite taxing even for Kim Jong-un. At some point in time, Kim may propose talks with the support from China or Russia to turn the situation around.
This program, News Today on KBS World, goes out to some 100 nations worldwide. Marking its 10th anniversary this year, the program has established itself as one of the top sources of information on Hallyu or the Korean Wave. Here's a special report.
This weekly KBS music show is most popular among foreign K-pop fans.
Backstage look at Music Bank.
World News Today's anchor met up with idol group members for an interview.
Okay, so we're here backstage at Music Bank in the green room with Teen Top.
The news team ventured out to the Myeongdong shopping district to experience the K-beauty syndrome. Tasty eateries in Seoul were also introduced.
Yeah, the cheese is so good.
KBS World News Today, which has been at the forefront of delivering Korean news and promoting Korean culture abroad, marked its 10th anniversary.
많은 사람들이 이미 드라마나 음악 같은 KBS 문화 콘텐츠에 관심을 갖고 있는데 뉴스 투데이는 한국을 좀 더 잘 이해할 수 있도록
The program broadcasts top KBS news headlines translated into English to some 100 nations worldwide for 20 minutes daily.
해외 100개국 이상으로 나가기 때문에 저희 뉴스가 이제 좀 외교관 역할을 한다고 생각을 하고 있어요.
KBS News continues to connect Korea to the world and promote Korean cultural contents known as the Hallyu Korean Wave overseas.
We love KBS World.
We love Kpop.
Okay. Thank you.
While the focus of this program is the news, Korean pop culture is never far from our minds, precisely because that's what draws many of our viewers to this channel. KBS World airs TV dramas and variety shows around the globe, as you'll see in this report.
Young Brazilians in love with Korean pop music have gathered in one place. They wholeheartedly enjoy the songs and dance routines of Korean idol groups.
Tem a combinação da dança que é legal, as músicas são legais e as vozes deles são maravilhosas.
The driving force behind the K-pop craze in Brazil is Music Bank, a KBS music show that airs simultaneously in Korea and the rest of the world. The show's world tour, which has continued for 6 years now, has become a measure of K-pop's popularity.
And then one day, you'll never come back.
의사면 남친 없겠네요. 바빠서.
Descendants of the Sun signals the revival of Korean dramas. Roughly 260 million people in 114 countries view Hallyu broadcasting contents. KBS plans to broaden the horizon of Hallyu with a programming strategy customized for each country.
A major hanok, or traditional Korean house-style hotel, will open in Seoul for the very first time. This comes amid the growing popularity of hanok guest houses and hanok homes transformed into modern living spaces. The building is expected to become a major tourist draw, combined with the walking trail surrounding the fortress wall of Seoul.
An outdoor library designed as a traditional Korean hanok home is a perfect venue to feel the approaching spring. Hanok guest houses also add an element of style to ordinary alleyways. The architecture's elegant curves and distinct designs capture the attention of foreign tourists.
Very calm and peaceful, and also the view is very beautiful. And
this hotel duty-free shop is located just next to the fortress wall of Seoul. Foreign tourists line up to enter the crowded store. The Hanakotel will comprise several Hanok buildings arranged in tiers. The project was a difficult one, even after an ordinance was revised to allow construction of Korean traditional hotels in green zone districts. The project was turned down twice in 2012 and 2014 over plans to construct a parking building. Even after the bill was tabled, it was withheld twice more over issues of increased public contribution. A construction permit was finally granted when the hotel project incorporated plans to create a park. Deliberations on the construction will take place for 1 year, after which the hotel is expected to be completed as early as 2020.
A pair of adorable pandas has arrived in Korea. The animals will be unveiled to the public next month. We bring you this first look.
Playful panda cubs roll on a lawn and climb trees to rest. They arrived in Korea from China after a long journey that spanned 2,400 kilometers. They are a 3-year-old male named Le Bao and a 2-year-old female named Ai Bao. The giant pandas were sent to Korea to promote bilateral ties between Korea and China, according to an agreement that was concluded at the 2014 bilateral summit.
大熊猫是中国国宝，长相俊俏，性情温顺。
The rare animals, which are also an endangered species, were transported in a special way. Temperature on board a special jet was set at 18 degrees Celsius, which is ideal for pandas. The pair was escorted by 2 zookeepers and a vet who examined their health condition 8 times throughout the flight.
30분 간격으로 비행기 내에서 계속 판다 상태를 확인을 했어요. 그리고 이제 그 산소량이라든가 기압이라든가 온도 이런 것들을 계속 체크하면서
The 2 giant pandas will stay at a customized state-of-the-art facility at Everland and will be fed bamboo trees of outstanding quality grown in a clean area in Hadong, South Gyeongsang Province. The pandas will be shown to the public next month after they adapt to the new environment.
Next, we take you to an exhibition that showcases photos of Korean traditional dance taken with a slow shutter speed, giving them the look of art paintings. Here's more.
A woman moves elegantly, grasping her blue skirt in her hands. She gestures toward the sky as if flapping her wings, and her sleeves billow in the air. The flowing moves of the dancer appear profound and enchanting, like a work of art. These photos, reminiscent of paintings, were actually taken with a digital camera. The whole series of dance moves were captured in a single image using a shutter speed of 1.5 seconds. The photos defy the stereotype that photographs can only capture separate moments. They represent the dynamic nature of traditional dance and the unique Korean emotion of Han.
한국 사람들이 이제 예전부터 말해온 어떤 한이라는 정서가 있는데 그런 한의 정서가 이렇게 딱 어떤 서양적인 것처럼 딱 단절된 그런 느낌이 아니라 여운 같은 것이 있다고 생각을 했어요.
These unique dreamlike photos represent the photographer's ardent search for the perfect way to capture the charm of Korean traditional dance over the past 2 decades.
It's time for a home makeover before the spring arrives. Just rearranging furniture and adding a few accessories can make the house look completely different. Today, we offer tips on how to change things up in your home without spending too much money or effort. This homemaker wants to spruce up her home for the spring.
집을 넓게 쓰면서 우리 집만의 개성을 살릴 수 있는 방법이 궁금해요.
Here comes an interior design expert to restyle her home.
문을 열었을 때 덩치가 큰 가구들이 보이는 것은 시야를 막고 동선의 흐름을 방해하기 때문에 덩치가 큰 가구들이 보이지 않는 게 좋아요.
The first secret to home makeovers is to change the line of vision. Instead of positioning a big piece of furniture like a bookcase opposite of the door, place a smaller, attention-grabbing piece of furniture to make the room much larger. 2 out of the 3 bookcases are moved to another room to make space for 2 desks, which have been in another room. Now the sisters have their own separate places. See how a few changes made the room look so different?
원래 언니랑 같이 쓰니까 좁았는데 책상이 따로 생기니까 편하고 좋아요.
The problem for the master bedroom is a queen-size bed placed right in the middle of the room. The bed and small accessories were moved against the wall on one side to provide a roomier view. A bookcase from the children's room was brought over to be placed against the opposite wall. The room looks neater, even with more pieces of furniture. The second secret to home makeover is doubling the usable space. The shelves that had been scattered all over the living room were brought together to divide the space like a fake wall. Making use of accessories is another way to change the home's atmosphere.
주방 쪽의 펜던트 등은 적은 노력과 적은 비용으로 가장 큰 효과를 보실 수 있는 아이템 중에 하나예요.
A pendant lamp can change the ambiance with not only its design, but also its color and brightness. Also, coordinating accessories in bright colors like red or green can make the drab interior come alive. Use these home decorating ideas to completely make over your home in time for the coming spring. Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks so much for being with us. We hope you enjoyed today's program as well as our special edition yesterday. If you'd like to see it again, check it out at the web address you see here and send us your feedback. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.